you on here? Okay, back again, another stream. So I went blank. I had a bunch of things going wrong actually. Well, when I from my last after taking my break and everything was fine, and then I went ahead and kind of went through my email. Like I was saying, I probably would do. Went through my email in Thunderbird, and I guess I just decided to check my. Oh, I think I got an email. Yeah, I got an email saying my server was down. And so I get those. It's just that I didn't have my email set up to look at them, So I let's go ahead and go over here to the page. And I get it from two or three different places. But this one, I guess, sees it quicker than the rest of them, Uptown Robot. And they all have different settings on how long it waits to check. And one of them, I remember, gives so many timeout errors. It just doesn't wait long enough that I just tell it to check like every 30 minutes or every hour. And this one, I think, checks every, I don't know, someone will do every 3 minutes. But anyway, it's back up now. And I think what did it is I don't know why, but well, I rebooted my D-Link router in here, but I've been done that several times since I got the server up and running, and it didn't make it go down. So I rebooted it, didn't come back up. Well, I mean, I rebooted it again, thinking maybe it just didn't see it for some crazy reason, and I looked in the router and it couldn't see it, So I went out there and shut it down, turned it back on. I rebooted the router out there. And I didn't have to reboot this one again to get it to see it. So it's not every time that you have to reboot this one to get it to see it. I guess you just got to keep filling with them both till you get it working. So, but the fan was off out there in the garage, and it's 91, but I thought it was a lot hotter than that. I thought I looked and saw a lot higher temperature than that. It says 91 right now. It is cloudy today. May not be as hot today, but it's hot enough. It was really hot to me out there. Of course, it's really cool here. Yeah, 91.9. So as this week is gone, that's a cool day. But it's 78.3 in here now, but which is feeling, wonderful. I'm feeling fine. And it's funny because sometimes at 78, I'm feeling hot. I think it really makes a lot of difference how many machines you have running, even though the temperature's okay. Oh, it's not 78.3. It's 73.6. That's why it feels flat cool in here. I mean, feels nice. Okay, but I have noticed a difference, when there's more I don't know how, really, I don't know the science behind it, but, when you're in a room and well, this is not super closed. I mean, the air gets under the door, and of course, air coming from the air conditioner, circulates through the whole house, so, but the windows are we got double pane windows there, and they don't leak real bad, you don't feel breezes in the winter and stuff. Anyway, so the heat will build up fast if you're running a bunch of computers in here. And so I don't have my server running. That's what I'm trying to get at. I have my Lenovo F5 and my laptop running. I don't have the server running or no other computers because the server, of course, is on the desk waiting to be fixed. So the server I'm talking about is the one in the garage, my backup server, the Gateway 500 megahertz gateway. And, of course, it's too hot out in the garage, and so I'm running. Well, there's a ceiling fan that stays on all the time, but I've been turning on the other, I'll call it a box. It's like a box fan, but it's round. It's up on a pole. I've been leaving it running, but it keeps I haven't said anything to anybody. I just see that somebody saw it and turned it off. So I finally put a note on it. I don't know who's turning it off, so they'll see the note when they reach. I put it right by the switch. And because normally we don't leave it on, so they had no idea. I think I mentioned to my mom I was running that server, my backup server out there. Well, I told her this one was messed up, but she most likely wouldn't remember that I would be doing that anyway, that I'd be running something out there and leaving it running. I've mentioned it before, but you know how I might not remember that kind of thing either, Somebody mentions things in passing. So anyway, we're still on the desktop. Let's get over here and let me check my audio. Make sure everything's working. Okay, yeah, I guess I'll pause that laptop so it won't get to working so hard. And I noticed since I've had the server down last night, I was like, man, it sure is quiet in here. When I got up, I was like, wow, it's nice. It's quiet in here. So I realized that server does make noise. I'm just really used to it. It makes enough I can hear it. Matter of fact, I was hearing, well, I was hearing other noises that I wasn't used to hearing, little noises. So it's not loud, but it does make enough noise that you can hear it. So I've got into my backup over here on the left side. This is my backup of Lucky Backup, my Lucky Backup profiles. Now I found the folder for it. I guess I'll show it in case you wanted to know. If this is my old home folder, but .lucky backup logs so and so profiles. It just says default profile. Now that's what's kind of weird about that. I wonder if there's more to it than that. It may not be the actual profile because in my little just random backup folder, I put certain ones that I knew I was going to want to use to import into other stuff, and so I have backup, Lucky Backup Don user profile and Lucky Backup super user. And this is the one I want to import because I know it's the one I've been using to backup. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to set it up in super user mode, just like I had it before, because I think I remember I had to do that. So yeah, it's still the same way. You can either do regular user or super user, and to get it to work right and back up, I think the thing is you can run it to back up to my backup drive. I could run it in the regular user manually, but to get it to run as the cron job automatically, had to be in super user. I think that's what made the difference. You see, in super user mode, then you could, if you wanted to back up something in your root folder, something with root, you probably might or might not want to do that, but maybe there's some program files you wanted to back up that had root privileges or super user privileges. You could use this to do it. So the default profile right now is blank. So let's see. Yeah, right there, export, import. So I'm going to import and no, not there. I'm not seeing my backup drive. This could be a pain. Well, I can just copy it over. Okay, first thing, don't see my backup drive. Oh, well, I can go to, oops, went crazy there. Computer, one click. Run, media. Should be able to, yeah, I'm going to be able to see it. So, yeah, I can go there. Now, it's in my Lenovo i5 backups. The one click is kind of easy in a way. Okay, well, which one? Super user. There we go. Okay, there's one that says default Don profile, and there's profiles. So I think I want to do it that way. See if that worked. Yeah, I think it did. It kind of blinked. Yep, default Don. I didn't know which folder to go in. I figured if I went to the top of those folders, I might get it. There we go. All I wanted to do right there. Now let's hit save. I guess I don't have, where's the save button? Oh, it's already, yeah, it's right there. Okay, but I do need to make a change. Okay, I'll go into Crusader here. I've already imported that, so let's look it over a little bit. But yeah, that's the one I want. Yeah. Okay, so there is a change I want to make, and that is I want to make it, I'll just copy this out of the properties, except for I'm going to make it Fedora 28. And then at some point, I should get in there and just delete all the stuff I don't need out of Fedora 23. Oops, 28, not 5. Yeah, Lenovo i5, same machine, but the new system. Okay, now I'm going to copy that, the whole thing in there. And let's go by modified, and then it'll be on the top. There we go. Now, this right here, let's just look in that one and then the other one. I think this is the one I won't actually need to change anything in. There's one thing you got to pay attention to. Do not create an extra directory. There's times when you want. Most of the time, that's what you want, because if it'll be like if you're backing up, yeah, documents. So if you're backing up documents, you'll end up with documents if you've already got the folder there. So all of these need to be do not create extra directory. Yeah, documents, videos. Basically the stuff that would be, I want to merge from all computers, or in this profile, I guess you'd say. So look at it one more time. I'm going too fast, and I can really mess up. Okay, so you can't see when you're doing only include. There won't be any. You won't be able to select the exclude folders. And description, I don't usually put one in there. I just go by this right here, the addresses, and the name. Remote, you can do from remote. From, like you could back up from a remote host to here, or from here to a remote host. I've done it before. It's in there. I did that over Wi-Fi to phones is what that is. That's what those all down there are. That's why that's still in there. So, these I always change up, just like that right there. Mine is an NTFS. My backup drive's NTFS, so I have to select that. That's always selected by default. Delete files on destination. Take that out, or you will everything. Like if you're backing up multiple machines to the same backup drive, you will lose everything you already had in there. Always, always, always unselect that. Delete files on destination. But default. It should not be there by default. It's too dangerous. And I mean, maybe that's what they think most people would want to do, but. It keeps your backup from getting too big, but that's in keeping the mindset, and that's really not how I've ever used backups. I don't just back up, one machine to one folder or to one drive or whatever. I back up all machines to the same folder so that I can merge my pictures, videos, so on and so forth. And if they're already in there, then they don't get copied again, Well, they will if they're a different name, but that's not too big of a deal, Then I haven't done it in a long time because this backup drive's so big, but I usually try to keep on top of using a duplicate file finder to get rid of them, and that can take forever too. But when you wait too long, it can. So anyway, and then also execute, you can run commands and stuff. I don't think I've ever actually had a real use for it, but I tried it out one time. Anyway, this one I'm going to cancel because I don't want to change it. I need to change this one because that's Fedora 23. And I always go into the advanced section there to get to, all those things I'm showing, and drag that corner so you can see everything. This one says do not create extra directories as well. See, this one I hadn't selected any of that stuff, so there's nothing in there. Now, see, this one is specific things that I want. Now, if they're not there, it'll skip them. They're not going to be there, and I could delete them all, but I won't do it right now. Maybe later I will, because a lot of that stuff's not going to be there. I don't know. Maybe I should. Yeah, I've got a backup of that profile. Let's see. And of course, the same thing. Well, the remote's never been used. These are the same. Okay, so in include, this is another only include. Now, the first thing, change it to 28. And then the second thing is the destination needs to go to the right, or else you're going to be overriding those backups that you had. Let's see. What is it I'm missing? Can I go up a folder? Yeah, that's all I needed to do. It was in that folder, so now I'll put it in that folder. Now it's empty. Choose. Okay. Trino audio project. See, I don't have some of the. Well, some things I know I don't have. Like it's so much work to put these in there. I may leave them. I probably will put an Energia back on there. That's a Texas Instruments application, IDE. I will pretty soon probably be making me a Firefox folder like that. And developer, Firefox developer. Of course, if it's not named with the same exact capital letters, then it won't work, but I can tweak that out. I don't know. It may get it really confusing if I don't take them out. I don't have any of that stuff. Let's take out something I'm pretty sure I wouldn't want. Well, Sardu, I'm just not going to be using that anymore. So move up, move down, remove. Okay, that's easy. Yeah, it's pretty okay. If you just start at the top, you can work your way down. So it's not hard to put them in there. It's just time consuming. So I think I want all the files with the dot in front of them. These are the ones I had manually added to my system. So I'm going to do it this way. If I wanted it back like that, I could always use, if I could remember, I could always use that import feature again. Audio projects, backup files, Energia. That was 2 different versions. FTC debugger. I'm going to leave those in case I end up using those Firefox pretty soon. Genome shell extension capping. I might have that. I might put my screensaver on there. That's what that is, my screensaver I made in Python. That I might put in there again. And let's see. TI, yeah, I'll wait because they might not be the exact same. Wallpapers. We'll leave that. Workspace. Composer, I will probably want that, so I'm going to leave it like that. And yeah, we'll just make sure we don't delete files. Now, there's something you can do. You can validate, and it says all declared fields, tasks, windows seem to be okay. Now, that's not a guarantee, but it will probably run. Okay. There's something. Oh, empty or does not exist. Yeah. It's empty or does not exist. Well, yeah, it's empty. The task will not be skipped, so that's good. If it said it'd be skipped, then my backup wouldn't work. So let's try a dry run. I probably won't do a run. I'll just do a dry run right now because I don't want to overwhelm the machine for a long time, you know. Because this is going to be a long writing process, you know. Well, actually, no, I don't have much on here. So it's done with no errors. Okay. So actually, I could probably just go ahead and do it. Well, I will have videos to back up. Yeah, I've got quite a few videos that I've made. I don't know if that yellow will go away next time or not. I guess it'll go away when I actually write files. Okay, now I was going to show, like say the phone one, internal storage. When you back that up, I'm backing it up over the, let's see, I think I'm backing it, no, it's not, this one's not doing remote. That would be the actual SD card stuck in the machine. Let's see if any of them I was able to do remotely. I might have tried it and it gave so much headache that I didn't do it. That may be why those remote addresses, or I did it, well, there's a problem with anything, like when I make videos and they'll easily end up being 3 gigabytes, 3.5 or 4. Because when on the phone themselves, if I use that phone app instead of the streaming with IP webcam, then I use the highest quality I can, of course, so the files get bigger. So you can SSH into the phones because I'm using SSH Joy to have it on my phones. And it's fine for smaller files, but when you start copying those bigger files, they'll copy away, get about a third to halfway through, and then just quit copying, just stop. I don't know why. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. So I think that's why that's in there, but not set up. Yeah. Okay. So let's look at the schedule. Where's the schedule? No, not that one. Schedule. Oh, there's not a schedule. Okay, so it didn't import the schedule. So I forgot how. Now, what I like to do is at reboot. I forgot. Oh, just put a time. At reboot. There we go. 3 minutes. I want more like 20 minutes or 30 minutes. What do I like? Too long is a pain because it starts doing it right when you get really to work. You know, start watching videos or something. Too short is let's modify it and make sure. Too short is if you're rebooting, if you're trying to work on the machine, trying to figure something out, and you reboot it, want to look something over and reboot it again, it'll be running when you try to reboot, and it won't. Well, it can. It just causes files to not get written. Well, if you reboot, it'll usually say Lucky Backup. Probably going to say, probably if I remember right, say Lucky Backup's still working. Do you really want to reboot? So you either got to go and close Lucky Backup, or maybe you're in a hurry and you just say reboot, and then it will break that write, and then maybe your next backup won't write it correctly. You know, you'll have, or you'll just get a bunch of junk. You might get a bunch of part files, .part files. So now there's, okay, now what you want to do is click cron it so that it makes a cron job. See, super user cron is updated successfully. So now that automatically made your cron job, which will run. It's what cron jobs do. They run tasks on your system automatically. So that's done for you. You don't have to do that manually. There is a GUI app that I used to use sometimes to make cron jobs, and it's not really hard, but it's kind of like working in the command line. You know, it depends on what you're trying to do as to whether or not it'll be hard and how complicated it is, and I'm gonna, and so, well, I think I had a hard time with the time when I was several years ago when I was learning how to do it. I think I wasn't thinking real straight, and I had a hard time following the instructions, because later on I thought, well, it's not so hard. Anyway, I don't do it very often, because usually the things, this is one or two things I really ever want to use it for. I kept thinking, you know, like I was talking about when I was running ClamAV, the virus scanner, I kept thinking maybe I could run it on a cron job, because I can't get it to work with the built-in thing. But I never have gotten serious about trying to do it. But I'm going to close this, because I'll let it just do its normal thing, because it's got all these videos. I might have backed up a few of these down in here, but there's a whole bunch that haven't been backed up. So I'm just going to go to documents just to, I think I'll close that right now. I may open it right back up, but I'm going to look at my list, see where I am. I'm getting hungry. I was debating about whether I needed a snack, but it's almost 5 o'clock now. It's really time to eat supper, I think. So I was debating about, I wanted to go ahead and do this. I decided, that's what I ended up deciding. I was ready to do it and had trouble with stuff, and so I was not going to quit. So let's see. I've got, of course, well, I've kind of got an endless list of things to do, but I mean, it is the 4th of July, so maybe I'm going to eat supper and just relax for the rest of the day. I've worked today. Most people don't work on a holiday if they don't have to. Of course, I don't get up and go to a job every day, so most people don't get that luxury, you know. So import that, import Lucky Backup. Where's it say Lucky Backup? Yeah. I'm trying to figure out where to put my check mark. I didn't leave myself any space. I kind of glanced at, when I did kind of, you know, I answered a couple emails and looked through and see what was in there. And I looked in the settings, and I am still using, well, I knew I was using Pt40, but there's not anything inside the Thunderbird settings to tell you how to, you know, set up IMAP. So I'm going to have to go to, best thing to do is go to the Thunderbird website and say, how do you write out the address, the actual address to make it go to IMAP? Because you got to do it exactly right. If you're using the wizard, it's actually really easy. It'll do it for you. But to use the wizard, you can only do that for a new account. I don't think you can modify an account with the wizard. If I could, I'd do that. But I don't think so. No, I look. That's one thing. I'm going to write on there and look up. Or wizard. Okay, now. And then my Lucky Backups are set to run. on boot. 20 minutes. Now, what am I getting to here? Oh, the Bitdefender thing. Yeah, okay. So really, that's all I had written down that was really important. The rest of it is some of the older notes that I may need to do more than once, or Bitdefender. I was wanting to try out that. I saved the live system so I could try and see if I could run it in Fedora, a live Fedora system, and then I could scan with ClamAV and Bitdefender. But I don't want to do that right now. I will be scanning again because I got to scan the Dell 1525 laptop. And it's Mom's all her present emails. You know, the one she's her Thunderbird profile that she's using now. Everything on there I need to scan. I don't have all of her videos on there. I made her a bunch of instructional videos years ago from when I first built her Linux system. I don't have them on there. There wasn't enough room, but I do have all her files, all her email, and all that stuff. And I did scan it once during the beginning of all this worry about maybe having malware. And there was Trojans in the Firefox cache, but not in any of the files. I think there was 2 files that showed to be infected. But they could have been already that way. They were fairly old from a Windows system. But anyway, they also could have just recently got infected from that malware. So anyway, definitely going to scan that again before. And of course, I got to rebuild her system with Fedora 28 before I do that. But I think this one is to where I can use it. Oh yeah, front page, show apps. I meant to do that. I said I was going to do it. I said, well, I'll do that in a minute, and then I forgot. So I'm going to go through the apps, and that's exactly what I was looking for. I knew there was something. Go through the apps that I have on here. And let me see, is my preview doing okay? Get it rolling again. Okay, I'm showing desktop. Yep. Okay. Is that going to reload? I'm going to have to wait. I go from being, am I hungry, to I'm starving in like 5-10 minutes. That's what I just now did. Okay, it's all good. The stream is good. Okay, so I'm just going to go on the application and show you what all we got now. I did this before I ran my scripts. I'm not going to name them all, but of course it's sort of like Christmas. Open a package at Christmas, because I just installed these groups, and most of them I just had a basic guess of what I was going to get. Sometimes that's how I've discovered some apps I never knew. After all these years, I started doing this. When I started Fedora 23, whenever the year that came out, I remember a couple of years, 2-3 years ago, and I was just using my scripts that I built from my old systems before. But when I did Fedora 23, well, my old system was Fedora 14, and it wouldn't run, it wouldn't install hardly anything on the new system. So I knew that you could install. I'd done the desktops with the group install command. Somehow I came across that article that's in my previous video that shows you how to use the groups and hidden groups and it doesn't show you how to build a script. I just came up with that idea after reading that article. It was just showing you how to use the group list commands. It's like, well, if I can get this all in the terminal, that's text that I can copy and paste and use. So one thing led to another, And so it's working out really, really well. I mean, it already worked out well before, but this time I'm even a little more familiar with it. So that's all these apps. Emacs is that command line text editor. That's in the Emacs group. They must have a GUI version. Let's see. Yeah, it does. There it is. And it's a well known in the in Unix and Linux. Yeah, this was used, I believe, in Unix before Linux was even made. And it's well known, and you can use it. Evidently, I didn't know they even had a graphic user interface, but you use it, in the terminal. That's what I would use it for. I mean, because I use, LibreOffice or something. Let's see, education. Some of these Fox battery monitors in there. That would be good for a laptop. Network log viewer. Well, that could be useful. See, that's in education. In the education. Well, that's where it landed. Now, I don't know if that's the group I installed it from, though, really. That's just where it landed in the applications menu. Sometimes they don't land in the really the right menu, what makes sense. So, fire vision, calibration, monitoring, and more. I don't know what fire vision or fire station is. It sounds like it would be something like that Microsoft camera thing that everybody likes to hack. One with 2 cameras, stereo cameras. Player cam. Yeah, I'm not gonna keep opening them up, but see, I'm seeing stuff like, oh, what's that? Now here's one thing I like: you get all the audio video stuff when you do the audio and video groups. And oh, that's PCB. Yeah. Oh, these are electronics, not audio video, right? PCB design and all kinds of cool stuff in there. I don't know how to use it all. And oh, you get the Arduino IDE. You don't have to go manually install that. Oh, I needed that Arduino folder that I deleted. Dadgummit. I should have looked in here first before I deleted some of those. But I can just put it back in there. I should probably go do that. Arduino. There's no telling how many of those I could have left like they were. I was just wanting to clean it up, you know. Let's do it now, because if I don't do it now, I will not remember. So... if I can get in there again. Yeah, and since I imported that profile, the default is still empty. You got to go there. So don't freak out if you do it this way. The reason it's that way, the reason it's not my default profile is because I built it in my regular Don user, and then I realized I needed it in here. And it won't let you rename the default profile. If you build it in the, as the default profile in super user mode, then you won't have that little hiccup. I mean, to me it is. It always freaks me out. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's blank. What happened? You know. Okay, include, only include. Now I want a directory. Make sure you specific directory contents. Let's go over here and find. There is no Arduino directory yet. I guess if I open it up and use it, there may be one. That probably will make one. It'll ask me, probably say, where do you want to save your sketches, and it'll suggest that, or either that, or I made it manually myself. So I'll have to do that later. I mean, I could go ahead and make an Arduino folder. Well, I don't know what what's gonna end up being, so I won't do it now. I'm not gonna do any more. Modify. No, I don't want to modify it. I don't know what I might have done. Okay, and let's go back. We were in electronics. Okay. I do know how to use the Arduino program, and I know how to use. I've played around with some of them, but there's KiCad that's really well known. I haven't really learned to use it. Some of the ones that I actually use, the IDEs, are not. I don't think they're in the repos. You have to go get them, and install them manually. I mean, you most of them you install. You don't just run them. But anyway, okay, graphics, Blender, which I never. It's so complicated to use. I've never really used it, but I think it's a cool program. I use the GIMP, GNU image manipulation program, and GwenView. Mostly I use GwenView just for viewing images and cropping them and stuff like that. If I really want to edit something, I use the GIMP. Inkscape is one I have messed around with. And there's some not 3D. I use that quite a bit, the batch image processor. You can resize, rename, and do stuff. I used to use that Shotwell photo viewer a lot, but I kind of decided I didn't like it as much anymore. Xane, you use that to scan with. And that's all we got. There's a few more. There's like the ones that that's the thing why I may break down and make me a script off of my old system, because there's all kinds of stuff I like. They're not there. Not 3D, but not landscape. Wide view. Like you take 3 pictures and put them together. I can't. Panorama. There's one called Panorama, I think. Panoramic pictures. I like to make those once in a while. Got air snort, which this is not wireless, but it's fine. What I want is Wireshark. That's on there. Okay, and browser mirrored websites. That's I use that to back up my blog. You can back up your websites with it. I can back up my regular websites, but I really use it to back up. I already do that. I just use my file manager to do that because they're on my own machine. But my blog is out on Blogger, and I use it to back that up. And I wonder if I can import a profile in there. Chromium, Ether 8. There's another. Oh, that's Ether. Yeah, EtherCap. One of those. I think EtherCap might be. Can't remember. Anyway, they're really good to find out what your system's sending out to other people. That's what they're good for an average person. Some of them are complicated. Wireshark's the one I can use the best. It is complicated, but it has lots of explanation built into the program. It tells you what to do and how to do it. Firefox, that chat thing, I don't know. I've never used it. Kismet client, I forgot what that is. PyGT. KRFB, the remote desktop. Let me put that up to the top there so that it'll be there if I want to use it. And there's a remote. Oh, and the viewer. Yeah, well, I like this one the best, but Tiger VNC is the one that seems to work the best. I don't leave them. I won't put them up there yet. That way it'll force me to go down here and look for them. There's another one. I'm not sure what that one is. That one I like the best, but it's got to where, I guess because I'm using the Tiger VNC server with KRFB now, it works better with it than I used to use Vino. And when I used Vino, I might try to install Vino. I tried to install it. I got it installed, no problem. It was getting it to work. You had to do edit config files and find commands to run and run commands, and I still didn't get it working, and I got tired of messing with it. Used to, you just opened up a GUI app and turned it on and off in Genome 2, but they don't have that in Mate yet, so maybe they never will. But let's see. I don't know. There's 2 PDF document viewers now. Pretty sure because it has that little deal there. I know that one is, but I don't know if those are the ones I like or not. So other camera calibration desktop. Kinetic. That's what I was trying to talk about. Kinetic stereo camera. Hardware. This is some software for it. You can use it with other. You don't have to have one of those to use some of this software. You can. Well, that's the calibration tool, but that might be the app. Since it's got the same icon, I think that's the app. I think you can use it with a regular webcam. I think I tried it once, but you can do some cool stuff if you had one of those Kinetics. Navigational log viewer, raw log viewer. Yeah, good. I like those log viewers. Scene 3D viewer. I'm not sure. Smart Sim. I'm not sure what that is either. Oh, SIM cards for your phones. What does that do? Open a project. Not quite sure, but is that to build a SIM card with? Like electronics program? Maybe an electronics design program instead of. I thought it was for it may be simulator, not SIM card. Okay, Arduino, Eclipse. That's one of the IDEs I use, and then Emacs again. Fire Station, Fire Vision Calib. Oh, I already saw that. Electronics design, FrickZing. Oh yeah, I remember reading articles about that. Electronic design automation software. It's supposed to make it. It's supposed to be making it easy for beginners, and supposed to be powerful enough for pros and all that. Intel 8085 microprocessor simulator. Oh, how cool! I've always once in a while I'll play with some simulators. And a simulator for microchip TM. I don't know if you can open those right there. You may have to. There they are. lots of C, several things for C++ programming. I don't know how to use it, but at least I can open up something programmed in that and look at it and learn a little bit. Pick developer, pick that's a chip, a processor chip. Control your logic analyzer, oscilloscope, or MSO. I don't have one, but I sure would like to have one. And designers. Okay, now there'll be lots in here. Cheese. I like Cheese and GUCView and OBS Studio. Of course, I actually already manually installed that. I wonder if that's in my list, my install list. And then digital processing. This is all audio in here. Editors, those are audio editors. Oh, well, that's a video. Okay, it's everything. Audacity, my favorite audio editor. Hydrogen Gem Machine. I still haven't really learned to do much with it, but I've played with it on and off for years. That's a video editor that's real basic, and it's all right. But I like Caden Live is what I like. Jack, there's some more controls for the Jack audio. That can make you just have, you can route audio from anywhere to anywhere with Jack. And our door, now that is a full audio editing, multi-track audio editing. What do they call them? I've lost the word for what they call it, but I've been able to use it. Some of them were really complicated, but that one I like, and so I don't even if you only have regular stereo card, if it works well and doesn't make noise and makes a good quality audio, then you can just bounce tracks really easily with a digital. I mean, it's not like having to do it with an analog tape. I learned with analog tape with a 4-track. Well, I learned with a reel-to-reel stereo cassette, reel-to-reel stereo. Actually, my first one might have been mono. And then I know my first cassette tape was, was it mono too? No, it was stereo. It was a mono output, but I think it recorded in stereo. And then, I had 2 reel-to-reels when I was a younger kid. I don't know if they were stereo or mono. I think maybe first one was mono, second one stereo, and then because it was as the technology progressed at a price where you could buy it, Then I got a realistic cassette recorder. I used to use the mic to record music like off the TV, like Saturday Night Special played, rock groups. They were the one that played rock groups, and then and it was one on Friday night, one on Saturday night. They would play live concerts, or they were usually kind of in-studio concerts. That was kind of quasi-live, You could see them, but they were usually playing their music in the background. You weren't actually, it sounded good, of course. They were playing their record, in the background and not playing live and recording. It was really hard to get good sound that way back in those days, back in the 60s and 70s. But yeah, I remember I got the realistic cassette recorder when I was probably 12 or something, but I still had it when I was 16, 17. It still worked fine, great. And I said, David Bowie came on. I'll go into that story again. But anyway, I tried to record David Bowie. I had to leave. David Bowie and the Spiders from Mars. I tried to, just the audio. I didn't have a camera. There wasn't any VCRs or DVRs or anything like that. I was just going to get the audio. And then it got turned off while I was gone, so I missed it. I had to leave and come back. MIDI stuff, that's complicated stuff. There's not too many MIDI sounds that I really like, but there are some that are okay, But if you want good sounding drums and stuff, use the drum machine. And there are some electronic sequencers and stuff that you can. Well, for one thing, you can just take recordings and loop them. Like Super Looper. What was the one? Cakewalk. Back in the I have Cakewalk, and I had a Windows 95 machine I used to keep in here to run Cakewalk on, but I didn't use it that much. And, it wasn't good for much else. It was an old, slow machine, so it's not in here anymore. It's outside. Actually, it was in the garage. I think it's in the back of the van now. Right now, I needed to move space in the garage, and I put a bunch of stuff in the van now. I wish it wasn't out there, which was in the garage. But some mixers and all kinds of stuff. Oh, that's a whole series: non-mixer, non-session manager, non-timeline. There was a multi-track editor too. Doesn't look like I have it, unless that's it. But quick scan. That's audio configuration check though. That's not scanner. Tux guitar. That's guitar effects. I've messed around with that. It's pretty good. Pretty cool. Real-time MIDI sequencer. And let's see, jack. As far as jack goes, where is it? Guess I'd have to go in there again. There we go, jack. QJacky CTL. That's what I call it. QJack CTL. That's the control interface. Learn that, and then you can turn it on and off, set it up, and then go from there. That's the easiest one I've found to do it with. I mean, you can do stuff in the command line if you really want to do it that way. You go find the commands and do it. Radium compressor, I didn't even notice that. Okay, let's see. So I've got a good start on the stuff I want. I keep looking at that Blivet GUI. I know I tried to use it in the installer for Fedora 27. It didn't work right. I'm surprised. I don't know why. That came with Fedora 28. It just came with it. I want to open it. I had been one. Oh, you got to do. Open it, because every time I see it, I'm curious as to what the. I've only seen it in the Anaconda installer. I didn't know it. Oh, I see. Well, it looks just like the Fedora Partition Manager app. Exactly. Maybe that was its name and I never knew it. So I don't know. I mean, maybe it works okay. It looks just like. But there's my system. Be careful. This is my partition. That's my boot partition. There's my LVM. Everything that's got all my personal file, that's my home directory and everything. And then, what's this? It's kind of funny because, okay, that's SDA. Oh, this is the expansion disk. Okay, 128 megabytes. I thought that was going to be, sometimes it's the same drive listed different ways. Well, down there you'll see. This is my, of course, you can delete everything in a heartbeat, so be careful in here. If you get into this Blivet or Gparted. But 4.55 terabytes, NTFS. I was going to say, just tell you how much is free space and all. Now, here's the LVM down here. Okay, now, Logical Volume Management. That's what that stands for. And so it's divided up. How is it divided up? Okay. So I didn't know there were, okay, I didn't, used to it always just said LVM or ext4, physical view, okay. Well, the way they're showing it here, LVMV, see, it's a new type of LVM, newer version. That 178 gigabyte, that's where all my home, and see, Lenovo i5 home, that's my home partition. Then this is the root, where all the, root user files are and everything. And that is 50 gigabyte. And that was all done, the sizing was done automatically by the install. This is the swap. It's used by the system to write temporary files. They call it the swap partition. It's a partition, not just a folder like in Windows, or like Windows used to do. I don't know what they're doing now. But in like Windows 10, I think in 7, I don't think they had an actual swap partition. They had something that maybe was kind of a partial swap partition. They had a place to write some files, I think, that was a hidden partition. But anyway, that's what Blivet GUI is. And you could edit stuff, but they said in when I was reading about it, what it said in the Anaconda installer, it said, in Fedora 27, I tried to use it on MOMS, and it said this is, it's still experimental. Well, I thought they just meant experimental in the Anaconda, but it didn't get done when it was really weird. It seems to me, unless I really missed something obvious, there was no way to actually save the work after you did all the work, and it didn't work. I had to go back and Gparted. I had to do that. And Gparted has been coming on Fedora for quite a while now, and it's been my favorite for years, so I was really glad to see it. This is another one that you can break everything really easy with it. So, you know, don't do anything in here if you don't know what you're doing. And yeah, Microsoft Reserve partition. That's that little flag will say they don't know what to do with it, but that's just kind of like sort of like the boot partition in Linux. You know, it's only 128 megabytes, but yeah, see, it looks different. It looks very different in here. You got boot ext4 and LVM PV, the rest of it, right? The other way in Blivit, it shows that it lists it out differently. So these are your actual partitions. I know that because I've worked with Gt-Parted long enough to know. So yeah. Logical volume management, I can always kind of call them virtual partitions. They're not virtual. Well, I don't know, I always do that, but I've been kind of done it lately, I think, because I didn't really kind of at a loss for what to say. Anyway, there's the two partition managers that actually come with Fedora 28. I didn't add those. And I've never opened the Blivit GUI before, never even, didn't know it existed other than, I don't remember ever hearing it. It looks just like Genome, not Genome partitions, but it was Fedora partition, and it looks just like it. So I don't know, maybe, for all I know, they changed the name of it, but it's the same one, basically. But anyway, boxes, virtual machines, yeah, cool. I might mess with that one. There was one that, yeah. I wonder if that's the VMware thing. I saw that in the list of stuff I was going to be installing, VMware. I don't think I've got, and I do use that quite a bit. I have a Windows XP virtual machine I use quite a bit. Anytime I need something Windows, that's all I have for Windows right now. Virtual machine manager, that should be, well, that could be the VMware one. One of those is going to be, I think Boxes is the Fedora open source one. Well, they're both open source. It was open source. That's the virtual machine manager. Let's see what we got in there. This one I think I've used before. It didn't want to be wide, did it? Let's just go back small. I don't know why it was doing that. One of those things that uses too many resources, I guess. Oops. Oh. Super user, right? Yeah. That's why it was hanging up. Oh, it's QEMU and KVM. That's why it was hanging up. So I've used this one before. Create a new virtual machine, and you can use ISOs, network, Pixie Boot, supporting an existing disk. Cool. I should probably try this, but VirtualBox is the one I really learned on, and that's the one I have the easiest time using. And but it isn't completely open source either. So now this Boxes, maybe it's the one that's got something to do with VMware. There's one. This is the new one. I remember that reading about it. Yes. Hit the new button. It's supposed to make it really easy. Insert operating system media or select a source below. Conical, that's Ubuntu, OpenSUSE. I built me a whole remix of OpenSUSE years ago, but their website was really buggy. You did it all on their website, and it's an RPM distro, so I liked that about it, base distro. But I never did. I wanted to, tweak it out, make everything work good, and then share it with people. But I never did finish it, so I never did share it. Now they've redone the whole thing, and it all works differently. And I kind of tried to get started on it again, and then download an OS. That's Fedora 27. Software apps updates available. Why is it looking different? It's not looking like. doesn't look like DNF Dragora. It's not. Oh, this is Well, this is a whole nother software manager. This is not. I thought this was going to be. Is this for? Well, it came up there. It didn't come up in this program. What's the update? Restart and update. I don't want to restart, that's for sure. This one, still don't know. This looks like a package manager I saw before in Fedora, and I didn't like it very well, but I'll tell you what, from what I remember of it, it was better than just says software. Yeah, so this is not the one I'm trying to say. Repos, no. Repository software package. DNF Dragora. Apper. This is not Apper. It would say Apper in there. But I might be able to use this since whenever I can't, I just go around and around being aggravated with Dragora. I'll enable third party. I'll do that later because I don't want, it's wanting to install an update and reboot the system. It says restart and update. Now, I don't know if it means the system or this application, but let's don't. But it came up from up there, so I don't think it's updates for this virtual machine. Download, enter a URL, or select a file. I don't have anything downloaded. Well, I have it on my Fedora 27. Oh, I have some on my backup drive. So I'll get off here. Downloads, but this one here, it's really got me curious. This is genome boxes. Well, not genome boxes. This is boxes. Well, it doesn't find folders good that way, does it? Just finding files, but not folders. Let's see. Maybe it's because I can't type. I think it's because I think you can search. Yeah, it doesn't have to be the first few letters of the file. So that's kind of cool. I mean, it's a real search. This is just in basically the file manager that this app is using. I see this. There we go. Linux USB. I don't know, maybe if I'd have typed capital L. See, I have a bunch in here. Oh, that's installers and builders. I want in here. Yeah, I don't have that many. I was going to say I don't have that many. Bitdefender, easy to boot, Pain, Fedora Linux, Pure OS, Puppy, run on anything. Parrot, I think that's the one for the picture frame. Raspberry Pi, that's for the Pi. Yummy Boot, that's one I made a long time ago. Yummy Multi-Boot. Mobile Raspberry Pi. Easy to boot, yeah. See what's in Debian. Yeah, I have Debian 9. And I'm going to want to put that on the laptop. I may have to download the absolute newest one again. Net install. That was something I was curious about. Okay, i386. There you go. AMD 64 net install. So I got, okay, there's either one available. That's good to know. I might be able to install that on my old machines outside. They might run it. Okay. Well, I didn't remember that all that was available or that I had it. Okay, so Express install username. An internet connection. Fine. Express install. Oh, I don't quite know what that is. I'm not going to add a password right now because, let's see. I was just wondering. This is just a virtual machine, you know. It actually might be better. I think I'll leave the password out this time because then I won't have to put it in there to boot into the little virtual machine. Because I'm already logged into my system to do this, right? Let's see. Yeah, let's leave it and see what it does. See if it'll let me. Oh yeah, it went back to add a password. So I think that's fine. So this is setting one up, and it's also automatic. I don't know what the heck I'm going to get. No password. Oh, okay. Better screenshot that. It will confuse the heck out of me. Customize this 25.5 gigabyte maximum. 21.5. Oh, customize. Memory 1 gigabyte. That's a lot for. Well, that's all right. That's about right. Maximum disk size. I don't need 21 gigabytes for that little domain thing. You can go 10.7. I'm going to go 10. Now, in VirtualBox, you can set it to two different types of virtual hard disks. One of them, it doesn't take up that space unless it needs it on your actual drive, and the other one it does from day one. Which one is this? Let's leave it like that, but it also doesn't show you the video memory. VirtualBox, you can set the video memory. So yeah, this is so far really easy. Box creation failed. Why? Why? SE Linux wouldn't let it. It tried to do something SE Linux didn't like. So I'm off on a sidetrack here. Definitely. Why is that not fitting the screen? Okay. Troubleshoot. Open something. QEMU system. Oh, okay. Now this is one that I'm pretty sure yes, I want to do it. So if you wanted to do it, oh, I can't stand that. How am I going to get this to fit my screen? That ain't the way. Let's see if I can drag it. It won't let you. I figured that. I had this trouble with Crusader for years. Once it gets like that, it will never fix. But I've never seen it in this before. So it tells you the commands to run over here. And they're not even though it's like 20 feet wide, you still couldn't see it. That's what I would have to run, but I'm not going to do it now because I'm going to quit fooling with this. Back. How do you get out of this and cancel it? Okay, well, that's pretty cool. Cancel. But you know what? That is easy. It's easy if it works, that is. You know, I fooled with it once before, and I might have got tired of messing with it last time. Yeah, it may not allow you to do what. If you already know how to use virtual machines, you might not be so happy with it because the lack of features right there sticks out to me. I mean, if I was going to use this one, I might use this one, the one that'll do either. Open it up again. KVMs or I figured that. It'll either do KVMs or QEMU. Well, I guess it's QEMU that'll run. I don't know. I guess it's QEMU running KVMs on it is what it is. I guess I forgot what KVM stands for, but it was the rage for the virtual machines for years, and now they're getting into another. Well, they're getting all these containers and stuff. Fedora Atomic is you can run apps or operating systems in there, and I think there may be like Docker. I think you can run. I mean, in Docker, I haven't ever learned to use it because I was going to on my Fedora 23 server, but I installed the applications and I was going to learn about it, but it's a 32-bit machine, and you had to have a 64-bit machine, so it's on there, but it wouldn't run. Let you install it, but it wouldn't run. But this one here, Kimu can be, when it works great, but when something's not right, it's really hard for me to figure out how to get it set up right to make it work. So I don't use it. This one might be better. That's not the interface I used. But anyway, there's Clam AV, when I need that. Checkroot Kit. And there's one that's on my server that you could set it to run it automatically. I don't remember how I did that. Maybe I just did a cron job, but I don't think so. I think the app itself, you could just, you know, this one is going to do what? Let's see. This is going to run it for you. There's another one where it opens up a terminal window and you have to start typing. I'm like, well, heck, I can do that. What's the point with the shortcut, you know? This one will just run it. That's pretty cool. All you have to do is type in your root user password. So that's the one I like. Okay, so, but as far as setting it up to, I don't think there's anything in here for it. This is just a terminal window. That's Genome Terminal. So just let it run. It won't take long. And it better not have anything in there. There's where you can change your Windows passwords. Actually, the best way to use that is on a rescue CD so that it will automatically find the. I mean, you need it to be able to look through the hard drive of what you're. Unless you want to plug that hard drive into your machine or something, then point it to it. But it just came with some of these groups. Packet generation tool. So, through our file manager, if you like the Windows Explorer kind, I would say that's probably the most powerful of that type of file manager. Yeah, so there we go. And System Monitor. But still, I don't have the one I want. Wait. Case Discard. That's it. Let's see. I do have it. Oh, because I added it to my script, dummy. Took a little bit to open up. Gave me time to get it over in the last window. Now, I want this open all the time. You can either... I always go by the memory now because the CPU and memory follow each other. See, OBS is the one using the most. Everything's good. I leave this one running all the time, and it doesn't use enough resources to, you know, to worry about it. The other one, well, the other two I don't like, and the one that's sort of like this one but without the search, it uses too many resources. But see, we're using 1.4 gigabyte out of 3.7. Everything I'm doing right now, OBS Studio and well, it's over now. So, yeah, no, nothing deleted. See, it'll delete them if there's there. OS X RS plug not tested. Well, I don't have any OS X on here. Mac. Press enter to exit. So what? I was trying to see. Oh, I guess that's how this one does. It just says nothing deleted. It doesn't say nothing detected. The other one says nothing deleted. I thought there was a... Okay, so... Yeah, it says not detected, not found. I think if you keep looking, you'll see that it's... If you had something... I've never had anything when I ran one of these, you know, rootkit checkers in Linux, but I'm sure it would say, you know, it did something. Warning, you know, Will Robinson. So, yeah, this is the one I like. Leave it like that. So this was, whoops, was over here. Actually, let's stay in this window. What do I want? Case Discard. See, it just says System Monitor. That makes it so hard to figure it out. They shouldn't have it say System Monitor up there. It ought to say Case Discard. Or say Case Discard System Monitor. Add that to panel. There we go. I always keep it like that, and then move it right there. And I have my searcher there because I hit it the most. And then in Case Discard, I just got to where that's what I like. So, yeah, I don't have much in the way of video. I don't have Kden Live. I tried to install it, and it wouldn't run. I remember that. I had it in my original script. I'll have to find out if... what was that? software. Apper is the one that doesn't work right. Yeah, it's messed up. That's the old one. I don't know why they still have it in the repos if it's not even going to run. But my laptop hasn't been running so long. It's asleep. I don't have that playing, so it just said, well, I'll go to sleep then. Well, that app's called software, but I can't find it in the search. Huh. Nope. Well, that's just really crazy. So I saw it in here. Or I saw it in here, didn't I? I don't remember. This one, software. Add, remove, update software on this computer, but you can't find it with. There it is. Let's go shopping. Now, a cool thing about this one like this is you can easily organize it by, graphics and photography, games, audio, video. I mean, you can do that in most of them. I don't know about DNF Dragora, but then say they have some recommended. But I remember, actually, this was several years ago, probably in Fedora 21, the first time I saw this one. It was buggy and didn't work great, but it's been years, so it should be okay. Like Simple Scan. Do I have Simple Scan yet? Oh, that's just the launch or remove. Yeah, see, if you've got it, it'll say launch or remove. So really, this for somebody that this might be good for some people. Might be really good. I've installed updates. I don't know about how it handles updates and stuff. I don't know how well it would handle it. But let's see now. Does it have a searcher? If it doesn't have a search, then that's why I never used it. If you can't search, if you've got to click through menus endlessly, then that might be exactly what the deal is with it. Oh, there it is. Okay. I have no idea what I would search for, but there we go, scan. Oh, yeah, it didn't have near as many. It wasn't coming up with very much. And it may be because you need to set up the repos. Yeah, you might need to go in there and make sure you got everything set up. For Fedora 28, test updates. What is enabled? RPM Fusion, Linux vendor firmware service. RPM Fusion should be RPM Fusion updates, RPM Fusion free and non-free, and there should be the main Fedora repositories. Yeah, it looks like the normal ones. Just glancing at them real quick. Got Xane. That's probably. I think that's all I need. So I won't scan. I'm not planning on. But look how much easier that is to. It's much nicer to look at and easier to see. You see the name of it and the description right there. And when it tells you if they're installed, and installed. That's not a scanner like a flatbed scanner. That's a network scanning app. So, and that's a good one. I like it. Yeah, I might end up using this some. If I'm going to have to do something manually, it might be quicker. It definitely opens up quicker. I think I'll put that up on my thing so I'll forget about it by tomorrow. Let's see. Oh yeah, right now I can't remember a thing. Definitely don't want to click, it's saying restart and update. Oh, there we go. Shows you what's going to happen. There we go. There's a few there. I'd kind of, unless you can set this, to be like the automatic, like do automatic updates, which it doesn't look like it. Pretty basic. Then I'll just do it the way I've been having to do it. I'll have to go find the commands and all the things you need to do. You have to run a couple of commands and then edit a couple of one or two config files to get automatic updates working, or you did. That was in Fedora. Well, I think I did it in Fedora 25 or 6 or something. But anyway, haven't done it in 28. So oh, got to drop my mouse down in the floor. I got to looking at my. Oh yeah, I started my preview, but I didn't ever listen to it. I had to wait forever to hear myself talk. Okay, so what did I just say I was going to do? I'm going to put that up in the top of my it was in system, wasn't it? Yeah, see, that's not one I would have been looking for because I did remember it. Actually, you know what? I did look for it the other day because I was trying to think of what other alternatives would there be to. And I put Apper on there, and I probably saw this one and didn't. I don't know if I ever saw it. I mean, I may have seen it, but it didn't register with me what it was. Got a weird looking icon. But it didn't register with me, so now I have that at least. I tried to see if I could install Yum Extender DNF and stuff, and I couldn't find it. See if we got more settings in the settings area and all. It's all the same to me, except for that right there. I think that's new. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, Apper and Dragora. See, they're up there in that section. They didn't go into that section of administration. But Apper's not working. There's something really wrong with it. And that was the main one. That's the one I used for years. Maybe it only really works with... Well, it's just not... It's like the interface is broken. I don't know. Maybe it... usually you don't have problems with... You install an app, you get the dependencies automatically. And I installed it in the DNF Dragora. I didn't do it from my script, so it's not like I typed the wrong thing and just got part of it in my script. So there we go. That's where my system is now. Now I can use the system. Got my email, a browser, and my browser needs a lot of work, and I'm not going to do it right now, but it's opening up slower than it did lately. But I still haven't changed my home page or anything yet. Sometimes I have that on and sometimes I don't. Like I always go there to set that other camera pointing at the monitor, but it's not on right now. And I'll put those up there so that I can. But I don't usually leave that up there when I'm normally, just because I can't stand that being there. It bugs me and it takes up too much of the screen. But yeah, all these I don't like. None of my buttons there. I want them up here, and I don't want that one or that one. But I haven't done any of that. I thought I'd do it in the video later. And those kind of things that a lot of people don't know how to do, and a lot of it, and they keep changing it all the time. So I'm always relearning. What do I got to do with this? What do I got to do with that? So. And all those kind of things I haven't done yet on purpose because I wanted to get it up and going for the important stuff first. So I'll do that later. Try to do it on the videos and everything. And yeah, that tells a lot about... let's kind of spread that out a little bit more. Let's see. Should be... I don't know. It's still jumbled up. I want the... So you can't get that memory and shared memory. Oh, these here, you can't read them all unless you do that. I don't like them too far apart because it's hard to tell what line they go on. But if you got something running that's what I do. I mean, you can do that, but I can kind of tell. Well, I can't tell until I do that very well. But until I get them highlighted. Some of those ones that don't do that, I really like that colored highlighting. The ones that just have little dotted lines and stuff, I can't use them very well. So I guess I'll close that. Let's open up my Crusader again because I want to look at that backup video file before I'm going to reboot, so machine will be fresh while I'm eating my supper and watching some kind of videos or something. But I'm going to quit for the day. Now it's almost 6. I was almost 5, and I was about done. And then I started talking and going through that software, and I got really off into it, didn't I? Oh well, I meant to do that. I didn't mean to spend a long time doing that, but that was the whole point of all that hard work, is to get those groups of software installed without months of manually installing. So, and that works well. And I quit my FTP. I used to run FTP server, and I would like those scripts I was showing earlier today, where my old scripts I had them on my blog. Those links were pointing to my FTP server on my home server, my website server. But I shut down the FTP because people kept running scripts on it, trying to log into it. And there is no login. There was no login allowed. It was just straight read-only files, no login, read them and download them, But they still kept trying to find a way to log in, and it was using up my bandwidth, and it's really aggravating. So I just turned it off. I don't run a web FTP server anymore, just the website server. So, and I ran that for years and years and didn't have so much trouble until the last 2 or 3 years. Just gone nuts. All right. Yeah, leave that open. There's my backup video. Okay, I'm going to go. I'm starving now. And, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to go, bye. I'm going to go. I'm starving now. Yeah, okay, so now I can play the music out. All right, bye. Happy 4th of July again.